Hello and welcome to another episode of the RBL podcast. I remain your host, Ayo Ogino. A couple of years ago, I was told a story by one of my uncles. It was the Muslim festival, and they were asked to go buy rams. Normally, the Muslims kill rams during the Ileya festival, and my uncle and one other friend were asked to go buy rams so that the family could kill and celebrate. But when they got to the markets, where so many rams were being sold, um, the price that they met, for the desired ram that they wanted to buy, was beyond what they expected. I mean, they could still afford it, but then it just had exceeded, their budget. So they kept bargaining and moving from one vendor to the other, bargaining, trying to get the best price they could get. Eventually, they got to somebody whose price was the lowest in the market. Yeah, the RAM was still decent. It was the lowest, but still wasn't what they wanted. So the person told them, okay, since you keep negotiating and asking for lower and lower prices, maybe you should wait till it gets a little darker, because the assumption is that as it gets darker, the prices would fall, because then less and lesser people would be coming to the market to buy, and then vendors may become willing to compromise and just be willing to sell at a giveaway price. So they decided to wait, and then they sat down, they kept waiting and waiting. It kept getting darker, but rather than the prices to fall, the prices kept increasing because the rams were decreasing in the market and more people still wanted to buy. So when it got to around 9 p.m. at night, and they saw that rather than the price to reduce, it kept increasing, they ended up even spending much more than they would have spent if they had bought in the afternoon. What I'm trying to pull out of this story is this: the real estate market is exactly like that. While you are there giving excuses of, oh, maybe when I have more money, maybe when all the circumstances align in my favor, maybe when this job that I'm expecting comes, when I start earning in six figures or something, maybe when that time comes, then I will invest in real estate. Look, it's not going to be the same. The more you wait, the higher those prices are going to get. The um, I mean, lesser and lesser opportunities may even be available, and you just don't know what would happen. Circumstances change. Circumstances change all the time. I mean, the job that you think you have now, at least you're still getting some good inflow. Why not plan with that? I mean, we plan with where we are per time. If your finances per time, plan with that. The interesting thing is that there are so many developers in Nigeria these days, even in Lagos, who are willing to work with your budget, who are willing to even work with your payment plan. I mean, people take up to 24 months depending on the project. People take 12 months, 6 months, depending on the project. But you have to be willing to commit. I mean, most of the time, you're just giving excuses. And the money you think you're keeping for when it gets better, you would eventually spend on something trivial, maybe an expense or a car or something, whereas you could have invested it in something, in an asset that would keep increasing in value. So when these opportunities go, it's gone. And then I like to say that when it comes to investment, you have to keep being paranoid. You have to be very, very paranoid. It helps you to stay on your toes. It helps you to keep investing aggressively because you just don't know what tomorrow will bring. You just don't know. You can hope for the best. You can hope for greater paychecks and the likes, greater business opportunities and all that. But I will not advise you to wait for that. Invest now. Invest now. While you are waiting, people are cashing out. While you are busy waiting, people have gotten properties at good prices whose values have increased exponentially over time. So in 2022, my wife and I got a property somewhere in Abidjan here for 11.5 million. We paid for 12 months, and by 2024, October thereabout, the property that we bought at the rate of 11.5 million had become like 55 million. That's over 375% increase in like 2 years. I mean, can you beat that? So my advice to you, make haze while the sun shines. These opportunities that you have today are going. There were people that had the opportunities to invest in Banana Island when it was affordable. There were people who had the opportunity to invest in Lekki Phase 1 while it was affordable, Orange Island and the like. They missed those opportunities. The ones that you have today, watch out for emerging markets, watch out for emerging locations and invest in them. If you need help, remember, you can contact us for consultation. We would always direct you to the locations where you should invest. And we have so many developers at our fingertips that can help you with this kind of investments. Remember again to subscribe, follow us on all our social media platforms, until we meet again. Stay blessed.